Were you burning? What were you out doing? Yard burning or what?
Yeah, I was out doing some yard burning, and I knew it too as soon as because the wind shifted, and I heard it, and I jumped back, and then I smelled it, and my hair was actually all up like this. My wife was making fun of me because my hair was all up in the air.
So. We were talking about doing a bonfire out here tonight and getting rid of that gigantic pile in my front yard, but we've got gusts up to like 25 in Tallahassee. I was like, yeah, no, maybe not. So
yeah, probably not a good idea.
I'm actually skipping Sunday dinner to be here. So by the way, we're live, so we're sitting here just BSing. So hey, everybody,
we're already live. Yeah.
Everybody's doing well. It is Sunday. What are we? May 21.
21st, yeah. Wow. It's already kicking on. We're 3 months, almost 4 months into the year already.
Crazy. Well, like we were just talking. I mean, we're closing in on Q1. You know, for those of you that are keeping your records like this. And newsflash: if you're not keeping your records like this, you should. But quarter one, I mean, we're within 10 days of closing out the first quarter. And
your numbers are higher.
Yeah, I shared that. If you want to share that publicly, fine. But yeah, we'll actually be $50,000 higher quarter one this year as compared to quarter one last year.
And the year hadn't even started.
Wasn't a bad quarter, you know. Yeah. We really hadn't had that kickoff of COVID. We had just started having, those COVID ripples. Starting to go through the industry at this point and stuff starting to get, it was 2 weeks to stop the spread.
I got to say, so Jacob, just so you know, I was playing with a fire today and I actually burned the whole front of my hair here. And
your lighting is on point. You've got fantastic lighting, and I'm doing this from my kitchen counter. So
there you go.
I was being
sexy.
This is.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
There was a lady back in my real estate days named Danielle. I think it was Danielle Kennedy, and she was a real estate agent. And she, back in those days, she had sold like $10 million from her dining room table or kitchen table, and she had written books. And you didn't need a big office. You didn't need all that fancy stuff, and about how rich and successful and successful and good at your craft you can be just working out of your house. Which hey, I mean, let's face it, we're in an industry where you're right, you can still do the same thing. I mean, we have an office, but it's our choice. So a lot of guys, I mean, I worked out of my house and had a home office here for years and years and years. Man, we got some YouTube guys. Jacob's on YouTube, RPC, MTH, Danny Crane. Hello.
Chad Sund. Jack Garrett, Mr. Lewis, Jakey, RPC Pressure Wash, MTH Powerhouse. Good evening. All right, so I want to start off with Cabo.
Okay.
Cabo. For those of you that don't know or do know, Cabo is coming up again. Cabo. So Cabo is the cleaning industry summit, which is started by Carlos Gonzalez. And, man, it's nothing. I've never been. I've always wanted to go, but he's always done it around that Christmas, December time. And I just can't go because of, family commitments and all that kind of thing. And not next year. He's setting it up for 2022. So it's not going to happen in 2021. It's going to happen in 2022. We're all going to have plenty of time to prepare and get ready. And supposedly it's not going to be around Christmas time anymore. I should have had Carlos on here to tell us when, because I don't think he still knows yet, but trying to get it all going. So I can't wait for that one. And hopefully there's enough time that I'll be able to get to go this time. So that would be awesome.
Well, Cabo, I've been twice to Cabo, and absolutely for Carlos's summit, and absolutely an amazing time. I mean, it's a little bit of education, a little bit of fun, whale watching, we went marlin fishing one year. We went tuna fishing one year. A lot of laying out by the pool, and it was a good time. So
That's cool. I didn't know that they had the whale watching out there, though.
Yeah. Oh God, they have a ton of whales out there,
Wow, I didn't
and
know that.
more dolphins than I've ever seen in my life. Out there, they chase the tuna around, and I mean, just literally thousands of dolphin. It was pretty cool.
So it must not have a high shark population.
I guess not. I tell you what, the water in Cabo, the beaches are scary as hell. That is some aggressive surf, and you know, where they were laughing. There's this one beach out there. They call it Honeymoon Beach, and I think the other side of it is Divorce Beach, because the currents are so strong that it'll just take your ass out to sea, and you're never seen again. So
very cool, very cool. So had a new sign out for 48 hours, and the roof calls are coming in. Was concerned about the market, but they are definitely there. This is the time of year, as we said on the last one. If you're not busy this time, you know, right now, if calls aren't starting to happen, and don't get too caught in yourself if you're just exploding right now, because it's the time of year. Everything should just be going absolutely crazy right now, and calls should be coming in. Your phone should start blowing up. Business should start to flow, and it should be a really. I feel like this year, not for me, I'm not going to wash anything this year, but this year I think it'll be a really good year. Well, so let me.
I love this one. So this one, you know, from a show a couple of weeks ago, he sent us some pictures of that roof. Had a $3,500 slate roof. Nice. Booyah. Yeah, awesome. Congratulations, Baz. Love it. You know, and he reached out and says, "Hey, you know, I've got a question about this roof," and it wasn't, you know, and I wish I could share the email here, but it was such a respectful, nice, well thought out email of, here is my methodology. I'm going to clean it at X%. Here's my concerns about this landscape here and that landscape. And what do you think about blah, 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 blah. Not how much.
Yeah.
How much and how do I clean it?
That's the kind of stuff that you like, because it shows that he's put thought into it. It's not just how do I do this? It's
right. How do I do it? How much do I charge? You know?
Yeah. This is how I'm going to do it. Am I doing it right? You know, this is what I'm charging. Maybe is that right? You know, is kind of a better question there. But hey, just want to touch real quick on the hotel class and the other class, the other exciting class, and I can't think of it. What is it?
Water tower.
Water tower.
Yep.
But hopefully we'll have an answer by Wednesday, maybe. Some things going. We tried not to break it out last week. I was trying to break it out. Ray was trying to hold it, and then he ended up breaking it out when we should have just waited. Sorry, but hopefully we'll have an answer for you all on Wednesday as to what exactly we're going to do, if we know by then. But just wanted to make sure I brought that up and touched on it.
There are some forces in play that would cause problems with doing those classes as they are scheduled right now. Mm-hmm. So that's all I can really say about that. So, you know, we'll see. And hey, I get water towers and hotels pretty darn frequently. So if it doesn't come up, then I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to do another one. So
look who's in the house now. Yo-yo.
Miss Brenda.
That's not the yo-yo.
Oh, yo-yo.
Yo-yo.
What's happening, Bobby? MTH has a question about a partial roof wash. Are you guys at a flat rate for the liability, or is it still bid per foot regardless?
I'll take that one. Mm-hmm. I did have a question. Let me put it up, and then we'll put the huge back up. I did have a question about a partial roof wash. Are you guys at a flat rate for the liability, or does it still bid per foot? So what we do on if they just wanted the front roof done, so we had a minimum, okay, and my minimum was $450 for a roof, period. Didn't matter if I went out to do a little bit piece or a lot of it.
Right.
So yeah, if I'm just doing a little bit. Now, let's just, for example, say that the roof cleaning was $1,000, front and back, sides, all that. Then the odds are, if it were just the front, I would likely be around $750-ish. And the reason being is, if I'm doing the hard stuff, I'm charging more. So whatever my square foot price is for the whole house, it's double or even triple if I'm only doing the hard stuff. So
yep. Yeah, exactly. it's I'm not a big. In times before, I've always said no, we don't do partial roofs. We don't. But that was years ago, and now that I'm all grown up, yeah, I'll do a partial roof. I mean, if it's financially makes sense for me to do, and really and truly, I might even make more financial sense for me to do. I mean, if somebody wants to pay my rates to go out and wash one side of a house,
yeah,
I'm doing it. But it's just all depends on does it financially work out,
Lots of times people would call up and say, "Will you do this?" And I'd say, "We will clean absolutely one shingle if that's all you want."
Exactly.
It's going to cost you a minimum of $450.
Exactly.
Then when you start explaining the purposes and processes, and take that whole front and back, if it's $1,000, well, it's going to be $750. It just makes more sense financially to do the whole thing. So most of the time, we would end up doing the whole job anyhow. So
what's happening, Regal? How are you tonight? So we got the banner, the huge convention up there. Brenda Baz is saying, yeah, if he does a partial, there's going to be no warranty on that roof, which I totally agree with. Because
that as well.
You will actually get that roof dirty faster because you've still got algae, mildew, the biofilm, the gliocaps magma up there, and you clean this side. This side is still there, and it's going to migrate back over, and it might even do it quicker than that. Hey, Dale, what's happening? So huge convention this August. Go to thehugeconvention.com. Go there. Get your
prices are going up.
Prices will go up. And if you go and you use a code spray wash, you're going to get a special discount.
Is that coming out the right way? Or
yes. No, the other way. $50 off your ticket price.
$50 off your ticket and spray wash.
That's a discount code spray wash. That discount code isn't going to last forever, and these tickets are going to go up in price. That's what they've always done with a huge convention. The closer you get, the more they go up, and they've already had 1 or 2 price increases. So expect another one. So if you're on the fence about the huge convention, go to the huge convention. It is absolutely, one of between that, the thing we do with the Power Wash store in Orlando and the PW&A
gig,
just amazing. I've never been to ICW or IWC. I understand that's a good one too. That's coming on up here real soon. I cannot take the time away right now.
Look, remember, the huge convention is the single largest convention that we have in the exterior cleaning industry. I know that IWC, I don't know how big their thing is, but from my understanding, they don't reach the numbers of the huge convention.
Right. But they're a bunch of window lickers too.
They're a bunch of window lickers anyway. No, but what would be really cool is for it to end up being something like the concrete convention. That thing was massive. But anyhow, $50 off with the code spray wash when you go to checkout. $50 off of your tickets. Right now, there's still $199 for a single ticket with the code. Without the code, $249. And again, that's going to be going up here pretty soon. So get your tickets now. It is about the camaraderie, the classes. The classes are awesome, but it's also who you get to talk to. You sit beside people that have done 10 million in sales and 10,000 in sales, and you can learn from either one of them.
Absolutely.
Be surprised at where you're at in this industry. Even.
Yeah, you can learn just as much from one of the guys that's just doing it right. Who's $100,000 a year as you can from a guy who's 5 million, but it's not just a numbers racket here. You can learn from the smaller guys too. It's not please. Doug and I will never be the guy going, oh, you got to be big, because I can promise you that big is it's first off, it's relative. I'm pretty proud of what I do, but I'm small potatoes compared to so many people out there.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I'm very proud of what I built.
Yeah, I'm real proud of it, but I know I'm not the biggest at all. And it takes a certain, This beard wasn't gray whenever I started. It was just me in a truck.
Ray, to let you know, I was going to send you a gift, and that gift was going to be that hair coloring just for men thing.
For men. For men too wouldn't be bad. Oh man, that half a gallon of milk.
Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's do it. We got to talk about the elephant in the room.
The milk on your shelf.
The what's that?
The milk on your shelf.
Yeah, that too. Brenda already mentioned it, but yeah. Milk and cookies. All right. So the discussion today about so there was a discussion out there on another forum about electrical receptacles and taping them up, and how you cannot scale a business if you are taping up receptacles and doing the property protection kind of stuff. So Ray and I have been doing it wrong. All of you guys out there have been doing it wrong.
And there was actually some release from the screen cap that I sent, because I wasn't, I can't even explain how busy we are right now. I wasn't even on Facebook. I made my morning post and then was gone off of it. So, but I'm not sitting here just, sniping on Facebook the whole time. I don't even think I'm a part of that one forum where it was at, but there was some really negative aspersions cast towards me and you and Spray Wash Academy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to just lay it out here like this. Of all the dumb shit that goes on in this industry, and there's some substantial dumb shit in this industry. There's guys who've been in it for a year who now teach classes and write books and say, buy my success package. I'm going to show you how to
build a wooden skid.
There's guys claiming, do $30,000 a month, when I really doubt you've done $30,000 a month ever with your portable machine, or at least not on a consistent basis on there. There's scammers out there that are let me do your Facebook ads for you. I'll make you rich and famous on your, if you just, give me money to do Facebook ads. And that's not saying all Facebook ad people are bad, because there's not. But, there's a lot of bad things out here in this industry. But for somebody to decide to pick on plant and property protection and decide that's the bad thing.
And for me, it was more the comments that they made. But
that's a special kind of stupid right there. I mean, that's kind of stupid that gives you Forrest Whitaker eye.
I do want to add, though, the person's page that owns that page did take the post down, and he put up a rebuttal thing that was pretty good, and he had some very valid points. I don't want to go naming names and all that kind of fun stuff. Those that know. But I do want to say, I mean, the guy that started the post said, so first of all, I want to bring up Kelly Nielsen, who's on here. Kelly Nielsen had some very valid points to it, to what he was saying on the forum side of it. So in part of that, I made some rebuttals to the gentleman that had started the thread, and in those rebuttals, he couldn't even respond to them, I think, because they were just things he couldn't respond to, because they were based on sheer ignorance is all. But one of the things that really got me, okay, so, and this is probably in reference to Kelly and those of you that are Spray Wash members and that have maybe even taken plant and property class, but he says, Doug, is this the type of guys you and Raymond are building up at Spray Wash? I didn't get the opportunity to respond to that because the post was taken down. So I publicly want to respond to it now and say, absolutely yes. If we are raising people that are properly protecting receptacles and trying to prevent fires and doing stuff like that, and scaling their businesses that you say they can't scale, absolutely yes. Take it 100% from me. Yes, those are the type of people we are raising up, and we are proud to be raising up. So take that as you want it, because guess what? If you're going to sit there and admit that you're frying receptacles with your water-fed pool and then not doing anything about it because that's what your insurance is for.
Yeah.
Or the other comment was about the I gotta share it. I gotta. I don't want a whole bunch of drama, but I do want to set the record of this was his comment, and this is how ignorant this kind of stuff is, and this is how ignorant some people are thinking. And if you're thinking like this, I wish you'd get out the academy. And I mean that intently. I'm not trying to be an arrogant prick, but I'm trying to say this guy is an administrator of a page, and he is saying
a large page too.
Yeah. A GFI costs $17 to $25, and it's a lot cheaper than the labor to prep and tear down every single job.
Wow.
I'm sitting there going, and then he goes on to say that's why you got insurance.
Is it cheaper than somebody's life?
Exactly.
I mean, literally, because we saw a picture last week of a house. A firefighter posted that picture of the house that caught on fire after the pressure washers were there.
And that fire happened at what time? Do you remember?
Like 3 a.m. in the morning.
No, 5:30 in the morning.
5:30 in the
morning. The cleaning company had been gone for at least at least 10 hours, right? I mean, I would imagine at least gone 10 hours.
Yeah.
Let's say they were gone 5 hours. The amount of time really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It kind of does. And I mean, they were gone for so long. And the fire started in the middle of the frickin' night almost.
Yeah.
Okay? It smoldered. It sat there and smoldered. And because of the breaker trip, they turned it back on.
Yeah.
Okay. And it sat there and it smoldered and water kept getting. And then at 5:30 in the morning, this thing catches fire. Mm-hmm. Luckily, those people caught it and are alive today.
Yeah.
So are these the people we're raising here at Spray Wash Academy, Ray?
I hope so. I mean, I really hope that's exactly who we're raising. People that give a shit about it, Brenda, amen. Amen.
All the way.
And Doug, I saw Jacob was in here earlier, and Jacob has come down and worked with me on projects before. And a couple of years ago, he came down and we had a very large window cleaning project that we did. And I remember we were doing the exterior washing too. And one of the things that Jacob, and I've known Jake for a long time, and he said, I got to tell you what, he said, seriously, I got to hand it to you. Your guys have done everything that you and Doug talk about in plant and property, because Jacob's come to plant and property before. Mm-hmm. He's taken the class. He's like, I was so impressed that your guys actually did that. You're not just out here blowing smoke and saying, oh, do this, do that, and then you're actually doing it. Do it. But, he literally worked with my crews. I didn't even turn a squeegee on that project, but Jacob did. And he was like, your guys are actually doing what, you say to do out there. So, and yeah, I mean, we absolutely do it. I mean, I go back to the whole thing of, and I guess there's some kind of thing about price here. You can't successfully scale a business if you're spending money like that. Remember, Golden Corral, Ruth's Chris. I mean, they both have a place in the market. But Ruth's Chris, I'm $300 for a meal. Golden Corral, I'm $15. And they're both successful businesses. And you tell me, I mean, what would I rather do? Would I rather do, Doug? Would you rather do 10 houses at $500 a piece, or would you rather do?
I'd rather do 50 at 99.
30 houses at $100 a piece. Me, I'm going to take the lower number at the higher price because honestly, I'm working less. I'm ostensibly doing the same thing, but I'm working less.
Mr. Wedge is in the house. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael Wedge.
And Daniel Gross. I like me some Michael. You know what? Michael Wedge is one of them guys that if you listen to him, he's telling you he's not a smoke blower. He's straight up. He just calls it like he sees it. And, whether you like him or don't like him, or you like what he says or don't like what he says, he's not blowing smoke to you. He's just going to tell you like he feels it. So
Here's one. I can't. It just says Facebook user, but look, burned a plug 5 years ago. Fire showed up the next day while I was actually at the fire department working.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I always tape up now. You know, that was one of the things that happened in that thread, that somebody else had fried a whole electric panel inside the basement of this house.
Yeah.
And so the arguments that were, well, that's not your fault. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Even the homeowner agreed it wasn't my fault. The receptacle, you know, on the outside was bad, and the water followed it down and went inside the electrical panel, caused a fire when the homeowner was outside. Well, guess what? He's like, even though it wasn't my fault, it made me realize what it is that can happen, that
Right.
I can do. And so I tape them all up now. And as we seen last week, hey, taping things up is not the end all be all.
Right.
Chris Coons just last week Friday GFI, and he did a Facebook Live post on it because it was a stone exterior, and I think it was a fake stone exterior that's got all these cracks in it, and water could get through.
We got down one of the joints, and
yeah. And one of the arguments that we hear all the time is that, oh man, you know, it doesn't matter because, I mean, it rains all the time. It hasn't burned up yet. Okay, but that's, first of all, rain typically doesn't hit the wall and run.
But it's weatherproof.
Yeah. And
we're not spraying weather
to begin with. We're putting down so much more water, and it's more conductive.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind-boggling to me that it's still, you know.
What Jack Garrett said, he said tapes. He used stucco tape on a Ring doorbell and messed up the lens. So now he uses sandwich bags on the Ring doorbells. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah. That, you know, there's not one perfect tape. You know, I love the red stucco tape, but it's not perfect. You know, we actually
I don't like the red stucco tape.
What's that?
I don't like the red stucco tape. So there's that.
Yeah, you liked masking tape. You liked good old fashioned masking tape. Didn't you?
We use so. And I want to. Jeremy Brooke had asked a question earlier about the type of tape. I really want to see him in the yellow boots first, but and now he's popping up saying something. Look, Jeremy, there's some 3M tape. You can get it about this wide. There's some 3M tape out there that is it's double-sided sticky tape. It's clear. Get it at Home Depot and Lowe's. Even on a wet surface, it will stick. It's expensive tape, but when you're dealing with something that's already wet or something where it just won't stick, and it doesn't really leave a residue behind. I'm sure on a Ring doorbell it would. You wouldn't necessarily use it for a Ring doorbell anyhow, but you could tape to the wall around a receptacle or around whatever, then stick your plastic to it, and then put a piece of tape to that tape itself. You're gonna be golden. That stuff works really well on stucco, on brick, on even when it's wet, it works really well. So use that stuff. Give it a try.
Ellie's talking about the arm sleeves. Yeah, that's one thing, you know, we talk about in the class, those tattoo or arm covers for food service. I mean, fantastic. I mean, they're you get a box of like 100,000 for $49, and yeah, shower caps are good.
We moved over to doggy poop bags. I don't know why. It just was one of the things. I think I couldn't get because you know, I'm a big fan of the arm sleeves, and I couldn't get them, I think was the deal. And so I'd gotten the dog poop bags, and the dog poop bags even work well. Last time I bought a whole box of I don't know how many it was. It's a lot. I mean, a box, you know,
yeah,
and it had like 4,000 rolls.
Yeah, I mean, it's
has
how many that are in there. So
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, shower cap. I mean, anything you can use on those things, or, you know, BB sitting here agreeing, and he says his wife, you know, gets out there and tapes every outlet before it's sprayed. You know, and that's something else, you know, to bring up here. You really do have to go and do this before it's sprayed, because if you wait until after it is sprayed, it's too late. I mean, if you're like, you're starting to get that siding wet, you hardly ever get the tape to stick on there. It's like, oh, wait, let me go dry that off so I can put tape on it. Yeah, no, it's just not going to stick that well.
No. Once it gets wet, you have to have something like that. Jeremy, yes, it's clear. You have to have that 3M tape if you already got it wet. So the objective is to do it before you get anything wet before you spray a drop of water, just like BB said. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
So again, now that we got some more people on, one more thing, just a reminder, huge convention, tickets $50 off with your promo code of Spray Wash. Ticket prices are going to be going up soon. Bobby Walker's on here. Bobby, if you know anything, let us know. But huge ticket prices will be going up. Right now, single ticket price, $249. So it's $199. But I keep wanting to say $1.99. $199 with your $50 off from Spray Wash. Spray Wash is your code, and it works on all package levels. So get some tickets. Don't miss it. And
also,
Cabo,
I'm sorry.
And then Cabo. Is you having trouble hearing me?
Yeah. I was just talking over you with my own dad.
I'm used to it.
So also, let's talk about Iowa coming up here.
Oh, yes.
On April 8th and 9th. Oh, my God, that's coming up quick.
Nick Weisenberger.
8th and 9th, the Power Wash Store of East
They're paying
Iowa.
for their class.
Say again?
They're paying for a class.
Yes, they are. They're actually paying for the basic soft wash class by Spray Wash Academy. The basics soft washing and roof cleaning. Normally a $350 class, and you get it free because Power Wash Store is paying your tuition on there. That's on April 8th. And then on the same day at noon, we do the plant and property protection class at a special price of $249 there as well. Just a great day of education there. And then we'll be doing some demos afterwards, social. The second day, it's all free classes, covering your assets. We're going to do that, talking about insurance and what we need to do on insurance and what we need to do to properties and just, little things to think about, human resources, just the little devil in the details that kicks our butt as business owners. After that, we'll have Nathan Red Elfs come in talking about systems, Paul Cassander talking about numbers, the human element, then more demos. And then I understand that night, on Friday night, Bobby Figg is doing a gas station cleaning class. $250. He and Steve Novak are going to be in there doing their live gas station training. Amazing class.
Should be some good stuff.
Yes.
Just because the question came back up about the hotel course and the water tower course, we hope to have an answer for you on Wednesday. We don't have an answer yet. We shouldn't have announced it last week. That was really my fault because I was pressuring Ray. He gave in to my peer pressure, and we announced it when we shouldn't.
Got some things happening, but like I said, we said earlier, if I've got both of these jobs booked, but I've got some other conflicts externally at Spray Wash, so we can't give it the boom, let's do it right now. And I'll share with y'all as soon as I'm able to on that. So, oh my gosh, we have got Tim Eselton.
Tim is in the house.
I am honored that we are greeted with royalty watching our show.
Exactly. He is here.
Everybody wants to know about your milk behind you. So,
what?
The milk on your. Stop messing with people.
My wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I mean, every week I change it. So this sounds good tonight. A gallon of milk. We'll see what it is next week. I don't know. So yeah. And I don't even drink. I mean, I had a Jack Daniels thing the last time, but I really don't, so. It's just, hey, look, it's just something new, something up there, and just to see what.
Hey, it shows these people aren't asleep here. So I'll have to start moving around stuff over my bookcases, here and there, and see if people ever notice that. So.
Yeah. That's all. It's just there because it's there. That's all. I wanted to. You know what? I'm semi-retired. I can have a gallon of milk up there if I want. So,
you don't answer to anybody.
I don't answer. Well, except my wife. And if she finds out that I leave it up there too long, I'm in trouble. So
Jim Prom has joined us. Rich and Maria. Yeah, yep. Tim does know his fishing. Jim, you're up there. You're going to come down and see us at the Iowa event? I hope so. That is April 8th and 9th. Go to powerwashstore.com to register for that. That's the Power Wash Store of Eastern Iowa.
I got one of my fingers. I hope that was for me, Tim. I appreciate it, buddy. Every now and then you got to have those. Makes you feel special, Tim. Thank you. TJ's in the house now. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but yeah. That's the thing.
Tell me about it.
Anyhow.
Well, the problem is, see, I'm doing this thing on the fly because it's been one of those weekends, but so it cuts me off. I'm shadowed too much there, so. But yeah, I passed 5 head. That's more like a 6 or a 7 head at this point, TJ. That's yeah, clear Lennox squeeze tubes. I wonder if he means the Lexel squeeze tubes. Yep. That might be what he means there.
I think that's what he means, the Lexel.
Yeah, love that Lexel.
Yeah, we use that in the plant and property class as well. The clear Lexel, Lexell, I believe it is, Lexel. Yep. Comes in a tube. It's instant.
You can get it caulk gun style or just quick.
Instantly waterproof.
Yep, it's instantly waterproof. It's good stuff. So.
It's good stuff. So,
speaking of plant and property, you have been working your tail off on getting the plant and property class digitized, and I know I have got a stack of stuff to do. So,
yeah, the only thing stopping the plant and property from being online, just so that y'all know, is Raymond Burke. Doug's part is done, and he might have to get it. He might have to get it. Look, Ray has been crazy busy, but look, we're shooting for going live on the 26th of this month, so next Friday, I think it is. This upcoming Friday. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Going live with our online classes. Should have a couple surprises in there. There's only going to be a few. There's going to be, I think, 6 classes online at that time, maybe 7, maybe 8, kind of depends. We're going to have the plant and property class if Ray gets off if Ray slows down a little bit. We'll have the government class, which is already done. Then we'll have the basics, what do we have?
The basic asphalt roof cleaning class.
Asphalt
roof. We could have the basics basics of soft washing done then.
No, was that it? We'll have the asphalt roof cleaning, how to create
that's done.
Sell. So asphalt roof cleaning is done. How to create packages that sell is done. How to bid and sell residential jobs is done. We're working on plant and property protection, should be done.
Yep.
We're working on a new hire training packet that is going to be close. Cashing in on government sales is done.
Yep.
We've got 2 special guests that are going to be hopefully loading their stuff up pretty soon. 3 that I think are going to be probably within the next month should be loaded up. And then another one that we're working on is drumming up business. Yeah. Whether you're brand new in business or you've been in business a long time, just how to grow, how to get more business, that kind of a thing. So drumming up business is another one that's going to be on there. That one I don't think will be ready, but and then I go on vacation for a week, and then it won't get done for a little while.
The Brenda Farley is saying plant and property landed me $1,000 patio cleaning a few years ago. It became yearly. Now she just got a $3,000 roof cleaning added to it because they trust her. Awesome, Brenda. Awesome. And maybe their problem was because we call it, certified, or we give a certification out with that. Maybe that was what that person's problem was with it earlier. Do certifications work? They don't. They absolutely don't. If you believe they don't work and don't care about them, they're not going to work for you. If you make it part of your marketing package, if you make it part of your thing and you talk about it, then yes, they do. I mean, it's really a self-fulfilling prophecy on there. Mm-hmm. If you get out and start talking about plant and property protection. If you sit out there and start talking to these customers and engage them about whether you have a certification or not in there, it will blow your customers away, because trust me, 99.9% of the other washers out there are not talking to these people about this. They're showing up and yeah, it'll be $199.
I can say that, Ray, I'm going to imagine on your sales calls, you or Tanya probably talk about plant and property protection.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Guess what?
Yeah.
My company for the greater Baton Rouge area was always the busiest. We would be booked 2, 3, and especially, you get into those summer months, 4 months out. Not that I'm bragging about being 4 months out. That's a bad thing, not a good thing. But we were always booked at least a month out, 2 months out, when my competitors would be able to get to them in 2 weeks. I got a lot of competitors I really like.
Oh, we use that. We're like, do you think it's weird that somebody can get to you tomorrow and we're booked out for 6 weeks?
Yeah, I totally use that.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanya always laughs at me, and she's like, she'll hand me an estimate. And she's like, oh, here, go look at this order taker. And I was like, what do you mean order taker? She's like, you're literally at this point, the bid is a formality. They're sold already. You're an order taker. Go meet with them and take their order taker, boy.
You didn't even get the tip.
So, it's God,
I don't even like Tim Hazelton. Why do we not just ban him, block him from the business?
I signed a clause with the whole proportioner thing that I have to invite him to any live streams that I do. So I can't ban him.
I can, right?
The gypsum. I have sown gypsum pellets into soil. I've not used any particular brand of it. I've picked them up at Lowe's before in the garden center out there. For my new station, I'm typically using Agent Halt from Agent Clean. That's it.
Agent Clean.
I know Soft Wash Systems had their plant wash. You can do the same thing with Miracle Grow. Anything that I think any extra step that you take is absolutely wonderful. That extra step that you can keep going with it. So
let me go this direction though with gypsum. So gypsum is good, and I encourage its use. But like with anything else, even Agent Halt, right? If you take Agent Halt, you take a whole gallon of Agent Halt and you pour it on the roots of the plant, the plant's not going to survive. Okay, that's not the purpose of it. It's the same thing with the gypsum pellets. Okay, so you don't want a great big mound of them sitting there. A lot of it has to do with pH balances and all that kind of stuff, right? So you want to sprinkle them out and then water them in. You don't want to. You can burn the grass with too much good thing at the same time. So I have never tried lawn lime personally.
No.
But I think
we got Lou Zender, Tim. We must be giving away free food. There's all these firemen. There's all these firefighters like watching our stream tonight. We?
And there's one of the things about I have been on bids with homeowners, and the homeowner says, I don't want one of them weekend warrior guys. Mm-hmm. I want somebody that does this full time. Okay. And I appreciate that. But guess what? I've also said, you know what? There's some of them weekend warrior guys that are firefighters that do an awesome job.
Amazing. Yeah.
They're part-timers because they're full-time here and they're full-time here. So, then I'll go over what matters, in the whole deal. And they're surprised that I'm like, talking good about somebody that's a part-timer. Yeah, because there are part-timers. There's some. I don't really
consider the firefighters part-timers. It's like I consider those people just. I don't know what the hell to consider the firefighters, but I guess you could say they're part-time. But God, so many of those absolutely massive companies, that and they're running it from the fire station. So good on you.
Hey, the firefighters are the good ones to have on here for part of tonight's discussion about the whole burning up of electrical receptacles, right?
Hey, Tim, how's that retirement I'm paying for? How's that retirement dollars funded there? Henry had made a comment about the age. He's almost out of Agent Halt debating and getting more, trying out plant wash. Keep in mind, they're two separate things. Plant wash is a plant fertilizer. Yeah. Agent Halt is a bleach neutralizer. So
they do two different jobs.
Yeah, they do two totally different things. I would use both. If I have my choice of one or the other, I'd use Agent Halt, because I mean, what is a gallon of Agent Halt last you, what, a year or something? I mean, it's crazy how much. Tim heard me.
Yeah, I'm just bummed out. I got a single, you got a double. I'm always on the short end.
I elicit that reaction in people.
Yeah. There
you know, Rusty saying in the long run, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, when you look at it, plant wash, just like you said, that's more of a plant food. It's more of a and some of them are even like what is it, going back to the lawn, not the lawn line, but come on, help me out. The one we were just talking about. Now I got to go back and look. The gypsum salts. If you read it, it's a salt birthday. It says on the packaging something about repairs salt damage, repairs pet and salt damage, right? So that's one of the reasons I like.
Hey, it makes sense, because what are we spraying? Salt.
Yeah.
Yep. Salt.
Salty solution.
Absolutely.
Rich and Maria just had to replace a $200 palm from 3 months ago. I hate plant wash on plants. I applied
plants. Yeah.
What did I miss? Oh, the screen moved on me. That's why. I hate burning plants. Okay. Because Kelly Nielsen at the same time posted something and the screen jumped on me. And so I started one comment and then read another thing.
And, you know, it happens. I mean, you know, and this is all part of Vic is asking, Agent Halt is comparable to bleach wash, final wash, then neutralizer. You know, I don't know what final wash is. I think it's one of the soft wash system things.
That's his new bleach wash.
Gotcha. Yeah. You know, and Rich just sat there and said, I had to do a $200 palm. You know, and this is, you know, you hear guys talk about this in the industry, even people in the know, people that are doing stuff properly, people that are doing stuff the right way and doing the protection still have issues, albeit not as much issues, not nearly as many issues, and without the frequency of those issues either, or the severity of the issues. You just brought up, you know, Chris Kinsey, you know, the other day. Rich just said he just burnt one. I had a guy call me last week about it, and he had killed one stalk of a Christmas tree palm, shriveled and died after he washed, you know, and they're blaming him on that. So I'm not going to say he actually did it, because I don't believe he did. But even the people that, that was even, he said that was the south side of the house, and he actually downstreamed that roof. So, I mean, I see it and palms are usually pretty freaking salt tolerant. Crap is going to happen in this business, and we're going to get blamed for stuff that may or may not even be our fault. Could you imagine how many people are having major damage out there from the yahoos that are saying, you know, on all these forums for people, the standard answer is spray
50-50.
Spray 50-50. Spray 50-50. That's what, no, I'd hit that with 50-50. That's how I'd wash that, 50-50 in a pump-up sprayer. What? You know, I mean, could you imagine the damage that's going on people's houses? Because even the guys that do it right are still getting damage every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I had one not too long back that contacted me. I think I did a post about it, but that had contacted me, and her thing was, she was contacting me about her. She called us up to come out and clean the roof on her new house, and when I went out to give her an estimate, she started talking to me about how I had killed a tree on her last property, and I was like, shocked, like a tree or a bush or something like that. And I was shocked. I'm like, well, why the heck are you hiring me? I don't get it. And we had a very frank discussion. And she told me, she said, I sat there and I watched all of the precautions you took. It's why I never called to complain. I knew you did everything you could do. It was just an accident. It was something that happened. And since you were taking such great care, I knew I wanted you again, period. Right. End of story. I wouldn't call anybody else because I know now what it takes to do your job. I watched you do it, and it was an accident. It was things that happened. So even just from that standpoint, even though we killed something on her property,
right,
we showed her that we cared. And that made the immense difference in every aspect of that. Not only did we land another job, but I mean, we have a customer for life out of that, and a somebody that's going to refer us for life. So you can even turn negative into positive.
Absolutely. So Jim Prom, he's probably the senior statesman here with Software Systems. Bleach wash is now final wash, has been for a couple of years. So he cleared that up. So
yep.
Yep. Mike Wedge, golly, yes. Yep. Pictures.
It's funny. I was hitting that at the same time you were getting ready to say it.
Mm-hmm. Richard, I think 1 cup in 5-gallon bucket. I think you can go a little stronger. I think it was like 18 ounce. I'm going from. I'm like a glug kind of guy, but I know it's more than a cup because a cup is 8 ounces. I want to say we're at like 18 ounces in a 5-gallon bucket whenever we downstream. And you figure if you're downstream with an 8-gallon a minute, you're getting an even lower dilution ratio. So I would say 1 cup in a 5-gallon bucket probably is not strong enough, would be my guess.
Jacob says 6 ounces.
6 ounces in a 5-gallon bucket. Really? If I was at the office, I'd run out there and get one of my cards and look. But hold on, this is a must if you have a no-kill guarantee. That's a bold move, though. And what was that?
In reference to?
Reference to, I'm not sure. Scott brought up a great one right here. Property protection is paramount. Wait until you get bigger customers that have the pockets to come after you for damaging something. Amen. And for those of you that don't know Scott does big stuff. Scott's really into a lot of heavy use industrial cleaning, Ocean Reef Club, rich people down in my rich people, not like.
He cleans fish tanks, right? He cleans freaking fish tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cleaning aquariums. I got like a 10-gallon aquarium out there. I cleaned it last week. No big deal. But
cleaning fish tanks.
But he's right. I mean, he cleans, University of Miami. I mean, Scott's amazing, his business acumen, what he's built. And he's right though. I mean, you go and you wash a couple of $1 million property and you start screwing that up. This is not the customer that you're going to bullshit, for lack of a better term, and say, well, that plant was probably going to die anyway. No, that plant was $2,000. That light fixture, was specially, designed for this building, and you've just burnt the finish off of it. You've changed the pH of the metal, and now it's glowing electric blue instead of the hammered bronze finish that it was. And they're going to expect you to take care of that and replace that.
And, there's a lot of things that you absolutely can't replace. And one of the good examples I like to use for that is when we had a niece that passed away at 14 years old. And when she passed away, and what did people send to the funeral home? They send flowers, and they also send plants, and which I think is a bad thing. I wish people wouldn't do that. So we, being the aunt and uncle, the parents didn't want the responsibility of the plant and passed one of the plants on to us. Mm-hmm. That plant is not something you can replace,
right?
Because of what it stands for and what it means, right? And so, winter times, we're pulling it back inside. It's in a great big potter. It's grown to be this beautiful thing. And, wintertime, we're dragging it in. Summertime, we're dragging it back out, kind of a thing to make sure we protect this plant. Now, that's something that we would have brought inside. I mean, if we were having the house washed, we would bring it inside. But if we had planted that out there, we wouldn't be able to. I have another plant out there from one of my best friend from years ago died of brain cancer. And there was a plant that his wife purposely put outside to freeze and kill. And I ended up with the plant. Now it's this great, big, beautiful thing. I covered that. I protected every winter, kind of a thing. But if you killed it, that would be devastating for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, as the homeowner. So you don't want to kill different plants. You have no idea. You might say, "Oh, that's just a little box. Who cares?" You don't know what that means to the homeowner. So keep that in mind.
Rich just said patio furniture. That's a great, and I remember, you could even cause damage on stuff that you're not intending to do. But yeah, some of this patio furniture is actually really cheaply made. The finish will change on it in a heartbeat. Something else that I learned a hard way, super hard way. I learned this. I was at a multi-million-dollar house up in South Georgia. And these are some of those people that were very, very wealthy. And I was doing the gutter brightening. So they had a wrought iron patio set out there, and I'm spraying it, with the pump up sprayer on there, and I'm rinsing it off. Well, the white water from the gutters splashed over onto the patio table, unbeknownst to me. Hot summer day. And then I turn around and realize that I've got white water on this wrought iron patio set, and nothing that I could do would take that off. I sprayed F-13 gutter grenade on it, trying to loosen it up again. I hit it with 4,000 PSI, nothing. That white water had baked onto that black patio furniture, and it was in there. I wound up literally going to O'Reilly's and
bless you.
Excuse me, not Corona. So I wound up going to O'Reilly's and getting a rubbing compound, a gritty rubbing compound, and literally buffing it out of that, taking the top layer of that paint off.
Mm-hmm. Couple things here. So, Kelly, I'll get to yours here in a second. HD Washman says, I got plants from 4 different family members on my land. Keep that in mind, like we said. Don't forget, koi can be generations old and can be super, super expensive. Yep. And aquatic life, highly toxic to it.
Highly toxic.
Highly toxic. All right. Can we back up to turning the bronze metal blue? What reaction causes this? It happened to me on a spot at a hospital with downstream after pre-wetting. It wasn't noticeable from the ground, but I saw it on the lift. Look, I went out to do I went out to do an estimate on a roof cleaning some years back the house was probably close to $1 million. And it's a referral from one of the competitors in my market. So I don't sell house wash. I don't do anything. I just do that. And when I got there at, I want to say it was like 3:30-ish in the afternoon. The very first thing I noticed when I walked up to the front door, they had this bronzish ornate metal piece over their front door, and it was freaking ruined by the guy's bleach. Okay. Not to mention, this is a big house, and he was gone. He had gotten there from when I talked to the homeowner. They said that he got there about 10:30, 11 o'clock, whatever. He was already gone at this massive house. I won't even get into that conversation. But anyhow, yes, the bleach can absolutely ruin certain types of metal. And in some cases, you're not going to bring it back. And in some cases, you're better to cover. Pre-wetting isn't going to do it. You're still getting the bleach through the water that's still getting to that metal, and you've got to do something about it. A lot of times what I've found is that you're kind of robbing the oils out of some of that. And so you can put something like a Murphy's oil soap or, WD-40. I know I hear the argument is that once it's damaged, it's damaged. You're not going to be able to bring it back.
Sometimes you can. I mean, it just depends on the finish.
You can, though.
There's a pH shock that happens too. And sometimes you've got, you wind up changing the pH of the finish. I'm not going to say you're going to change the pH of the metal itself, but you change a pH in there, and you have to go and basically put almost an acidish or something, to reverse that pH of the alkaline that you put on there. Because remember, bleach is stupid high on the whole alkalinity scale on there. And you've got to get something to bring it back to neutral, or maybe even put something a little bit slightly acidic, not a corrosive acidic on there, but maybe like a vinegar or oxalic or something like that, to try and neutralize that. And I've seen that reaction help. The barkeep,
do that. Do a test spot on an inconspicuous area first, because even the acids can damage it as well.
Jim saying the oils also. It's all. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is to work it in, as best you can to get it.
It's hilarious. So we started off with this guy talking about how plant and property protection is a waste. And we've literally gone about an hour here just talking about plant and property shit unscripted from the top of our head.
And we're getting it from the comments on the side. I guess the comments are, no, comments are over here.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not stuff that we're making up. This is stuff.
Oxalic helps on stainless doorknobs for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Gun oil, cheaper to cover. I mean, just great comments coming in here. Absolutely. Cheaper to cover them all. But yeah. Well, I had one, a very expensive house, and it's something we do quarterly. I talked about it at one of the classes we did earlier this year, but something got dropped into the tank. It was like we were downstreaming or something, but a fitting came off into the bleach tank. And all of a sudden, the guys didn't clear it out, and it sat in there overnight, and it turned, my bleach reacted with like, a nut, a fitting, a brass fitting or something in there, and it turned that bleach brown. I mean, it triggered off a reaction. Well, we tested it. It was still bleach. It was still viable bleach. It just had a tint to it. We went out to this house that we wash quarterly with really expensive hardware on it, because it's a big lakefront, probably $2 million spread or so. My guys washed it, and we got spotting on the doorknobs that we had never, ever, ever had before. And we've washed this house 8 times. Quarterly. They're fanatics about keeping it clean. And one of the things that we did, and the only thing that I could figure is whatever mixed in with that bleach, by having that fitting fall off into that bleach tank and us not taking the time to take the tongs and pull it out, and it's sitting there overnight, it changed that bleach enough and made it to the point where it was reactive. Even 0.5% house wash using that was reactive with those chrome knobs or polished steel or whatever it was on there. And it was a nightmare to get it on, and we wound up, the secret was white paste, diamond magic. Yep, diamond magic. And went over there and literally got the drill ball and and put the diamond magic in there, and was able to get that stain off.
Wow. I have a feeling Lou Zender and Jim Prom are probably going to end up in Facebook jail.
Gun oil, yeah.
They both mentioned guns. I mean, I'm just saying, Facebook jail.
Yeah, Kelly's saying the same thing happened to her on there because of a fitting.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, so touching back on a couple things again, circling back around. Huge convention. Forgot the dates. Don't forget to use your promo code Spray Wash. Get $50 off of your thing. The Cabo convention will be coming up in 2022. I can't wait for that. Shouldn't be in December this next time around. Don't know when it's going to be yet, but Carlos Gonzalez is trying to get this thing ready for 2022, so it should be. We should have plenty of time to get this thing to get it rolling. We got Nick Weisenberger's event coming up next week. Next week? Is it? No,
April 8th and 9th, Iowa. Power Wash Store of Iowa, April 8th and 9th. And you got the opportunity to do the basic soft wash roof cleaning class for free. They're paying for that for you. Then we're doing plant and property that afternoon. It's a reduced rate. Then a day of free education. And then topping off the 9th, a plant garage station cleaning class with Bobby Figg, who is also probably washes more gas stations and car washes than anybody else in the United States that I know of. And he is the maker of Gold Assassin.
There you go.
Plant and property protection isn't worth the money.
I don't know if that's if we got a jokester on here or what, but it'd be interesting to see who that is.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he also set up above, this is boring. So, hey.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, anyhow, there's that.
It was strange with somebody that actually took the class, because I've never actually had anybody that took the class, and we've done several hundred people that nobody said, hey, this class sucked.
How can you say it's not worth the money when you've never been to it, too? That's a good, interesting point. But, hey, great. I love me some haters. I don't know who it is, Scott. Don't even care. So, and so again, the next one is there in Iowa with Nick Weisenberger, Power Wash Store, and then the huge convention, and then there's also the PWNA event coming up in soon. That's in New Orleans. That's coming up July, I think.
Huge convention?
No, the PWNA's convention. I have these things run through my head.
I don't even know.
Because I know that's on the cusp of me not being able to make it because I'm taking my wife on vacation. We were going to go to some beach somewhere, but I don't necessarily want to go out of the country right now with everything that's going on. So, yeah.
Well, that's why, that's where you ought to go. That's where we went last year. St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. It's still U.S.
Yeah.
Incredible place to go.
Good point.
I missed out on. So last year I had two things, that was going to happen. I wanted to, I'd always set that goal for myself of I wanted to go to Africa whenever our company reached a certain level, and we had reached that. And so I've always wanted to go on a safari, not a killing safari, just a photo safari, and spend some time on there. Plus, it was my 50th birthday last year. So kind of had, and already started talking to some guys about, getting up there. It was going to be a guy's trip down to Tanzania, and then COVID happened.
COVID hit, yeah.
COVID happened. That didn't wound up not exactly happening the way that, that didn't go as planned, and I'm okay with that. So.
And then also don't forget, hopefully on the 26th, we will actually go live with our online classes. We should have 6 or 7, 8 of them to when we go live. Plant and property protection should be one of them. If you sign up for the plant and property protection class at the huge convention, you will also get the online class. So there you go, because that'll be a good reason to go to the huge convention. It'll be a great class there. And also that's the day before the huge convention. We're going to have 2 classes, maybe 3. It depends. I think we're going to do a basics class in the morning, probably a plant and property protection class towards the afternoon, and then something very just specific for Spray Wash Pro.
Yeah, just for pro members, maybe a happy hour or something fun for pro. So, yep. It'll involve drinking.
Yep, it'll involve drinking. That's for sure. Anyhow.
Oh Lordy.
Yep. I think this comment is meant for Naked Soap or not, whatever his name is. Yeah, Naked Soap. This Scott Torsey's comment, I'm sure, is for that. So, and then Rich and Maria, they like happy hour.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, there you go.
All right.
Good evening, my friend.
I'm going to go get a shower because I ran into this house and swapped out shirts and about 10 minutes before we went online after my day full. And I get to do it again in the morning because we're trying to get this HOA wrapped up this week. You know, and you know, one of the things I'll leave with on here, sometimes you need to stick to your guns on things. And I was just proven again why you stick with your guns. There's an HOA we do every 2 years. And this HOA manager sends us a lot of business, though. I mean, a lot of business. It's not just this one HOA. She manages several HOAs. They were adamant that they had it done in March. But March is our kickoff of our pollen season, our insane busy season, and our just nutty season. Also, another issue with this place is they want an exact count. Like I have to submit a schedule beforehand to them and say that we're doing, 16 units today, or we're going to go do 20 units today. We can't just sit there and work and give them a range of like, okay, we'll be washing your house sometime between Monday and Wednesday of next week. We actually have to give each address a specific day. And it's just, be careful whenever you book projects like this in your really busy time, because it is just a life sucker, and it just kills your productivity. It kills your mojo going out there, because I mean, it displaces, sorry, Titus telling me it displaces business is what it does,
See, we always knew she was the smart one.
And the pretty one, too.
And the pretty one. I thought I was the pretty one.
I spent $299 on your plant and property class. It was just common sense stuff. It wasn't worth the money I spent. Sorry, Ray. You're using us new guys to get rich. Well, I'll tell you what, Naked Soap. I want to make sure
who that was.
Hold on, right here. And I'm so happy you're trying to do this in a public forum.
I know where Ray's going with this.
It embarrassed me.
Uh-huh.
Because it's funny, because we always ask for feedback, and we have a pretty open line of communication. Doug's pretty accessible. I'm pretty accessible. Live online. And you know what? I've never heard you say anything at all about you being unhappy about that class. Mm-hmm. Never heard you say that. It's never been voiced. I don't know who you are because you have a name of Naked Soap. So I'm going to send you my email address right here.
Be happy to do it.
Please reach out to me tomorrow, and I'll make sure you get a refund of that tuition. Mm-hmm. If I can verify who you are and that you took that course.
I knew where this was going.
Send me your name, send me your email address, send me your contact information, and I will be happy to refund you that money, because we stand beside this information. We stand behind this information that we have. And I promise you, out of several hundred people, you're the only person who has ever complained.
If number one, you're real. Number two, I don't recall a $299 class, right?
That's a very strange class. Yeah. That's a very, very strange price for us, $299, because usually it's $249. And then
when we do it live, sometimes we reduce the rate to $249.
It's usually $350. So we'll see. Reach out to me if I can verify that you've taken that course. I'll send you that money back.
Yeah.
If not, we'll all get together here next week and talk about how that wasn't a person that verified that. So,
yep. Happy to do it. Again, hey, plant and property protection class will more likely than not be happening at the huge convention. It's definitely happening at the at Nick Weisenberger's place up there in Iowa the week after. I'm getting the dates wrong.
8th and 9th.
8th and 9th, yeah. And then just a reminder that hopefully by Wednesday we'll have some answers for when the 2 classes are going to happen, if they're going to happen, and that's going to be the hotel class and the water tower class. Sorry for producing it or for saying we were going to have it last week. We were a little bit early on it. We're still planning to. Couple little monkey wrenches out there. Hopefully it's all still going to go through. Just a couple things beyond our control that we just can't release a date just yet. But we're still shooting for. We're trying.
Absolutely. All right. Sorry, I was looking for something up here.
I got to go put that milk away before I get in trouble.
Yeah, you really do.
By the way, one other thing, just to go back and address that comment, I didn't know you were getting rich, Ray.
I didn't either. Yeah, I'm just balling out. We're getting rich off of new guys.
There you go.
Love it. Absolutely love it. But I'll tell you what, I'll make you this offer too. You ought to come up here and take the Spray Wash Academy class for $1,500, a 3-day hands-on thing. Mm-hmm. And love to have you there. In fact, I'll even give you a discount of that $299 you paid supposedly, and you walk into Tallahassee and do our 3-day, hands-on class and see if that helps you as well.
But it'll just be common sense, right?
Yeah, common sense stuff you can learn online.
I'm getting so rich off of this, I can't even afford a refrigerator for my milk.
Scott said if he has the balls to show up, he'll pay for the class. Yeah. No, I'm serious.
He needs it too.
Class. Let me know. I'll be happy to. We can talk about that. And again, I'll either send you the credit back or put a credit towards the spray wash class.
There you go.
Anyway, Doug, I got to get out of here. My wife is an ugly mean mugging me over here, telling me my time is up.
No, I'm not.
I appreciate y'all. Huge convention. Don't forget $50 off Spray Wash. Just use the promo code Spray Wash.
All right. See you then.
See you, brother.